outside of the two playoff games, the Cotton Bowl might be the New Year's Six bowl game I'm looking forward to the most. Number 16 Tulane takes on number 10 USC. Both teams coming in at 11-2, but the mentalities of these two teams might be a little bit different. For Tulane, this is their Super Bowl. They are in the midst of their best season since 1998. Top 20 team, champions of the American Athletic Conference in the Cotton Bowl, in a New Year's Six bowl game. USC, on the other hand, yes, a top 10 team, still a phenomenal season in year one under Lincoln Riley, but a disappointing end to their season as they fell to Utah in the Pac-12 championship game. Had they won, they'd be playing in the college football playoffs. So what will the mentality for USC be in this one? Will they have a bit of a hangover, a little woe is me, heading into the Cotton Bowl, or will they be up to play a very good and physical Tulane team? That is what we are here to answer today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, ready to break down everything you need to know for this Cotton Bowl matchup between the Tulane Green Wave and the USC Trojans. A great way to kick off the new year, 2023. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks, guys, because we have our holiday special over there. $29.99 gets you every single college football bowl game spread pick and every single NFL playoff spread pick as well. We have one of the best marks in the entire country, guys. We're beating out over 80% of the national analysts and handicappers. If you sign up with us, we guarantee not only that we'll have a winning record, but that you're going to walk away with big-time winnings. That is the Gridiron guarantee right here. Go check it out. The link for it down in the description below. Our holiday special, $29.99. All postseason football picks, both college and pro, combined into one spot, and we guarantee you're going to walk away happy and walk away with money in your pocket. So let's take a look at this game, guys. I am pumped for it. I am pumped for it. You look at Tulane. This is an offense, guys, that to me is severely underrated. No one talks about it. 35.2 points per game, 237 passing yards per game, 197 rushing yards per game, and yet no one really talks much about what the Green Wave are doing. You look at Michael Pratt, pretty dang good quarterback, over 2,700 yards, 25 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions on the year. Also added 10 rushing touchdowns on that. So 35 touchdowns on the year for Michael Pratt. He's doing a great job. Been a really good quarterback and a great veteran QB for the Green Wave. But the star ultimately is their running back, Tyjae Spears, who has rushed for over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. He has really put the team on his back these last few weeks. He had 181 yards and 2 touchdowns in their road win against Cincinnati that got them to the American Championship game, that kept their hopes of a New Year's Six bowl game alive. And then in that championship game against UCF, a rematch from a game that Tulane lost 38-31 earlier in the year, he rushed for 199 yards and a touchdown. So he has been putting it on these last few weeks. And we expect him to have another pretty big day against USC. Shea Wyatt is the top wide receiver, 692 yards, 7 touchdowns there. Tulane has scored at least 30 points in 7 of the 13 games they've played. So they are putting up big-time numbers. They are efficient. They can move the ball. And the defense is even a little bit better. We'll talk about that here in a second. Take a look at USC, though. You want to talk about good offenses, the Trojans have it. What else would you expect from a Lincoln Riley-led team, right? 41.1 points per game, over 325 passing yards per game, 174 on the ground. USC has scored at least 30 points in 11 of the 13 games they've played. The only exceptions were a 17-14 win at Oregon State, who finished the year with 10 wins. Congrats to the Beavers. And then, of course, that Pac-12 championship game where they lost 47-24 to Utah. Obviously, the offense for USC revolves around the Heisman Trophy winner in Caleb Williams, who is expected to play in this game. He was battled with a bad hamstring injury in that game against Utah. Should be back to 100%, or at least close to it, in time for the Cotton Bowl. Over 4,000 yards on the year, 37 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, also 10 rushing touchdowns. So 47 total touchdowns for Caleb Williams. Obviously, a major reason why he won that Heisman Trophy. Austin Jones comes in at running back, obviously replacing Travis Dye. He got injured in that Colorado game early in the year, but Jones has 644 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year. So the ground game, not as potent as it would be with Dye, but still pretty solid. They will be without, unfortunately, Jordan Addison, one of the best wide receivers in the country, leading wide receiver for USC. He'll be out of this game, choosing to prepare for the NFL draft. Still have Taj Washington, though, over 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. Still have Mario Williams. They've got a still very good core wide receiver, and ultimately the most important player on this offense is Caleb Williams. As long as he plays, USC has a very good chance to win. But it all starts and ends with him. The defense for Tulane, guys, wants to do everything they can to prevent Caleb Williams from having a big day. Everything they can. And the thing is, Tulane can do it. 20.5 points per game. That's all they're giving up. They're giving up just 188.5 passing yards per game. Remember, USC averaging 326 passing yards per game. That's a pretty drastic difference there. Huge difference between what Tulane's allowing and what USC is putting up. So something has to give here. The Green Wave are giving up 154 rushing yards per game. That number a little concerning. You could see USC try to run the ball a little bit more, not just with Jones, but also on a couple design run with Caleb Williams. We know he is capable of running and scrambling, something that Tulane's going to have to respect. Probably put a spy on Williams in this game, because if you allow him to escape, you allow him to run with his legs, you allow him to escape the pocket and extend those plays, it's going to be really, really hard to beat USC, because we know he can beat you through the air. But if you allow him to beat him on the ground, the offense is almost impossible to stop. But overall, guys, Tulane's been pretty stingy. They've allowed over 30 points just twice. USC has scored over 30 points in 11 of their 13 games. Tulane's allowed over 30 points twice in 13 games. The games that happened were a 45-31 win against USF and a 38-31 loss to UCF in the regular season. Bounced back, destroyed UCF in the American Championship game. They have 24 sacks on the year. They have 19 takeaways on the year. The biggest number I'm looking at here is the run game. The run game is key. I mean, the secondary has been pretty solid. That's going to be a big test for Caleb Williams, but maybe it'll take a lot of stress off his shoulder, weight off his shoulders, if he doesn't have to throw, because USC is running the ball. I mean, Tulane gave up 336 rushing yards to UCF in the regular season. They gave up 235 rushing yards to Cincinnati in that 3-point victory. They gave up 186 rushing yards to Kansas State in that road upset victory. So they're winning these games, but they're allowing a lot of yards to their opponents on the ground. They cannot allow that to USC, whether that is from Austin Jones, from Caleb Williams, or from both. You have to stop the run and hope your secondary can do the job against Caleb Williams. USC, their defense, guys, is not too good. They've been more of a bend but don't break type of defense, right? I mean, they're 11-2, right? They're winning games. They're winning games mostly because of their offense. Defense is so bad, but they know the offense is going to go out there and crank out points. That's how they've been operating. They're giving up just 27.9 points per game, 266 through the air, 148 on the ground. Not horrible numbers. The most impressive numbers is that they have 27 takeaways on the year, so they can take the ball away from you like that. So they're giving up a lot of yards, giving up a lot of points, but they're turning the ball over or forcing turnovers at an alarming rate. 36 sacks, 27 takeaways, and when they turn the ball over, when they create those takeaways, they're giving the ball back to the best, apparently the best player in the country, the Heisman Trophy winner, who can put up points like that. That's been the recipe for USC success all year long. But you look at the numbers, they've only held two opponents to under 300 total yards. That was Rice and Colorado. Rice, who finished the year at 5-7, still made a bowl game because of APR, but Rice and Colorado, maybe the worst team in all of college football. Not that impressive. Over 500 yards to Utah, over 400 yards to Notre Dame, over 500 yards to UCLA, over 500 yards to Arizona, over 500 to Utah again, over 400 yards to Fresno State, over 400 yards to California and Stanford. A lot of big, plays and yards and points being allowed by USC's defense, yet they're winning the games because of the strength of their offense. And that's where Tulane's defense comes into play. Tulane's defense shuts down the offense, USC is in trouble. Because the defense, I don't have much faith in them being to really just shut down Tulane. I think Pratt's going to be able to do a lot. I think Tyjae Spears can do a lot on the ground. He's really hot right now. Back-to-back great games against Cincinnati and UCF. He can keep it going against the USC defense, giving up nearly 150 yards per game on the ground. But allow the defense to do that. Defense doesn't do that great of a job. It's fine as long as the offense keeps it going. So the real X factor in this game is Tulane's defense. Tulane's defense shows up and is stingy. USC is going to have to figure something out. They're probably going to need a bigger day from their defense they want. Tulane's defense struggles to stop one of the best offenses in the country. You could see a shootout in the Cotton Bowl, and USC has an excellent chance to win this game. Regardless, I think Tulane has a phenomenal chance to win this game, regardless of how good or bad USC's defense plays, how good or bad their defense plays. Tulane, to me, has the offense that can match USC. They have a good defense as well. But ultimately, guys, I'm going to go with the Trojans here. I was torn. I was so torn, maybe leaning Tulane's way. Give me a minor upset. Vegas thinks it'll be close. USC only favored by 1.5, maybe 2 points, depending on where you go. But I'm going to go with the Trojans here. Assuming Caleb Williams is completely healthy, I think Lincoln Riley gets the job done. He may not be able to show up in the playoffs, but he typically has done pretty well in bowl games as a whole. And I like Oklahoma to show, I almost went to Oklahoma there. I think the USC shows up in the Cotton Bowl, try to clinch a 12-win season. It's been a long time since we've seen a great year like this. The Sam Darnold years were pretty solid. Yeah, we know they won the Rose Bowl. That was a big year for them. They fell in the Cotton Bowl the year after to Ohio State. I think USC wins the Cotton Bowl this year, clinches a 12-win season, carries a lot of momentum into 2023, but they're going to have to face a very physical Tulane team in a game that I think will not be decided until late in the fourth quarter. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks. Again, our holiday special, $29.99, gets you every single college football spread pick for the postseason and every NFL playoff pick as well. So all postseason picks combined into one spot, and we are winning. We are winning big. Some of the best marks in the entire country, guys, being at over 80% of the national analysts and handicappers. We want you to sign up and enjoy that success with us. Check it out. Link down in the description below. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.